The building is a typical Victorian Methodist church. It comes with all the restrictions that Victorian buildings do, in that you pay a fortune to heat it and they still feel no warmer. We run a community cafe to support people in the village who find the need to have somewhere to go that's warm, somewhere where they can go and chat, somewhere where they can discuss problems. And that community cafe has been extremely successful over the last 15 years.
So Haddenham Methodist Church contacted us when they received their building report, and with a long list of what felt like an overwhelming amount for the trustees to do, they came to us so that we could then give them advice and guidance on a range of issues. So we were looking at governance, we were looking at how they hire the facility out, and also what they could do to improve the building in itself.
Last year's quinquennial inspection seemed to be particularly bad, and it seemed that the goalposts had moved. It seemed to swing towards health and safety, fire risk assessments, etc., etc. There's nobody in our community who had any inclination as to how to handle that. So we thought, let's contact Cambridgeshire ACRE.
So when we first got involved with Haddenham Methodist Church, the building was in quite a kind of fairly common position we see for older community buildings. The trustees have done a great job of kind of looking after the building, setting up a community cafe, creating this kind of really valued asset for the community. But actually what they had was an older building which had fairly poor thermal performance, was quite expensive to heat and to run. So we were able to come in and kind of set out for them. And what they wanted was kind of short, medium and long-term options for what they could do with the building, to tie in with the report they'd just received.
We have a scheme of peer mentors who we then buddy up with a village hall, and they are people who have had extensive experience in their own right. Peer mentors have been trustees for a long time or involved in their community for a long time, and so we can work with them to work with the trustees to give a breadth of advice, not only just from us as the officer team at Cambridgeshire ACRE, but also the volunteers that we have at hand who can help and support trustees.
So the condition document and the Methodist report on that document asked them to do a number of things it's a huge task which they were effectively overfaced by. So it was breaking that task into smaller tasks that they could carry out. For example, the access audit, which they knew nothing about. I could actually give them a template access audit which they could solve, and that was an easy win. There was guidance on health and safety, fire risk assessment with the Cambridgeshire Fire and Rescue Service documentation. We got all that. So it's breaking it down into smaller pieces that they can actually then work on those smaller pieces and be more successful.
The support that Cambridgeshire ACRE gave us was tremendous, really, because it gave us the confidence to move forward, especially with the mentoring that we received with regard to the health and safety assessment and the building regs assessment. I would say to another committee that the services that Cambridgeshire ACRE recommend are very much something that you need to consider doing. The support that's been given to us by them has been tremendous. We're very pleased with the outcomes, and it's given the whole community here the confidence to go ahead and adopt some of the suggestions that have been made.